Okay, good morning. Very croaky in the mornings, aren't I? I'm doing a stream of consciousness to capture some emotion, and this isn't performative in any way. This is happening in real time, and I want to jump on here and talk. You can see I've been crying. So yesterday I asked for some testimonials to come through, and it's always beautiful. Thank you for everyone who sent them so far. And it's always beautiful to hear testimonials and to see the impact that you've had on people. And for me, it's such a big thing because I'm someone who's, how do I say this? I'm someone who's turned their life around, right? And some of this emotion is because I'm so proud of myself. And one side of my business that I very rarely talk about on here is the work I do with children. I can't get this out. My voice keeps going. Luckily, I've got this app where I can cut out all these silences now. And it's not something I post about or talk about on here very rarely. I think I used to post a little bit of the movement stuff I did with children many years ago, like in lockdown and stuff. But I work with young boys. I work with boys from 12 to 18, sometimes a little bit younger as well, but maybe 12 to 18. I help boys go through transitions into manhood. I often end up working with them for a long time. And in some ways, with some of these boys, I embed myself in the family. Because when you work with young children, you're not just working with them, you're actually working with the parents as well. It's this big collaborative effort. What I do with the children is very confidential between me and the children. I only bring the parents in if something really needs to be talked about. Because I need to build trust with these kids. I have to build trust, because if I'm just reporting back to their parents, that trust gets broken. They will open up to me. And I just received a message from one of the kids. He's not a kid now, he's a man. He's a man that I worked with. I worked with him for 5 years, I think. Because with this one particular kid, fuck man, there's so much emotion here. Struggling to get this one out. I was brought in for this one family because their son had tried to kill himself and they were very worried about him. And nothing seemed to be helping him. And I knew his mum. I taught yoga to his mum. She knew she had to bring me in. She just had this instinct. She's very fucking psychic, you know, she's connected. She's also a yoga teacher and works with energy and whatnot. But he had tried to kill himself when he was 14 years old. And I was brought in to help because nothing else seemed to be working. And I ended up working with this kid for 5 years to help him rebuild his mental health and his relationship with himself, his body and his heart and his mind. And I always work through the medium of movement because I know how special movement is about helping people get out of their heads and establish new neurological pathways. There's a whole science between how movement ties in with mental health. So what I do with the boys a lot is rope flow and boxing. Because the rope flow I see as a feminine practice. I never call it that. I never say that out loud to these boys, but I see it as a feminine practice. Because you're moving through this figure of 8 motion, and it gets you moving energy around your body. And then I balance that with boxing, because you get this fucking energy out that these boys have in their system, and it gives them so much confidence to boxing. So I worked with him through that, with boxing and rope flow. And within the sessions, I'm doing what I do. I coach. You know, just receiving his message this morning, because I love him so much, you know. I love this kid. I love his family. And I've seen him through his GCSEs. He had a very tough time at school and in his personal life. And I see him through his GCSEs. I see him through college. I see him through his gap year. And then he's spread his wings and he's gone off to university now. He's moved away to the university, so I don't see him anymore. We talk every now and then. But yeah, he just dropped me this long message, just expressing how meeting me and having those sessions changed his life and saved his life. And I've got sons, and just to think about this kid, thinking about this kid who tried so desperately to kill himself, and just knowing that my work helped and gave this kid hope, and he's turned into such a beautiful young man. He's so aware, he's a role model for these kids. So many of these kids are fucking lost, man. It breaks my heart. But to see him grow into the man he's become, sometimes I forget the journey me and him have been on. We've been on a journey. I've seen him every week for 5 years, maybe a few little weeks here and there. Sometimes I see him 2-3 times a week when things got, if he was struggling, because it's like this, healing's like this, you know. This is what I mean about being the beacon of light. we all can be beacons of light for other people. I put a thing in my stories today about emotional intelligence. Most people don't have it. Most people can't handle emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is so important because emotional intelligence can save someone's life, because you can be there for them in your truth. You can listen. Listen. Most people don't listen. They wait to respond. They're not listening. So people don't feel heard. What am I saying here, man? What am I saying? Oh, am I even going to post this? This is like 20 minutes long because I keep bursting into tears. And it's a mix. This emotion is a mix of like happiness, sadness. Oh, it's a lot of emotion, man, because I'm feeling into the grief if this kid, if he was successful in his attempts. Suicide is something that's been so close to me. I've lost friends to suicide. Quite a few, to be honest. And I've had my own battles with suicide throughout my life. It's part of why I do what I do. It's part of why I want to help people so much. At the end of this video, I'm going to put it's a big long message what he sent me. I'm not going to put it all in because some of it's personal. I'm going to capture some bits from this testimonial and I'm going to share it at the end of this video somehow. I'll figure out how to do it. Have a read. I always find it hard to describe what I do. As I said this many times on here, I'm on here trying to show up as my authentic self, and I have so many limiting beliefs about myself. And I've been successful in my career because I've been able to push back against those limiting beliefs, but they're still there. I'm only now really learning how to neutralize them and let them go through the tapping and EFT. And it works, by the way, it fucking works. But I always struggle to explain what I do because I'm not a personal trainer. Some people know me as a personal trainer, but I'm not a personal trainer. I use movement to help. I'm a yoga teacher, but I'm not a yoga teacher. It's something that's much more deeper than yoga teacher. Put these labels. That's why I always struggle to label myself. When people say, "What do you do?" It's like, because if I say, personal trainer, you think of a guy in a gym counting reps. If you say I do yoga, you think of a yoga class. People don't really understand yoga out in the world. You know, like people who don't practice, or people, you know, yoga is a spiritual science. Yoga isn't something you do. Yoga is a way of being. So everything becomes yoga. Washing the dishes is yoga. Walking to the shops is yoga. Making love is yoga. Everything becomes yoga because yoga is how you do things. It's not something you do, it's the way you do it. That's what yoga is. So yeah, I always find it hard to just describe what I do. So it makes it hard for me to put myself out there. And what I'm doing now is I'm putting myself out there anyway as I start to unpick and really fully understand what I'm doing and stepping into my power with it. Because the truth of the matter is, I've helped people create monumental shifts in their life. It's not me creating a shift, it's them. It's me creating safety for them to find the capacity to make the change in their life. That's what's happening. I'm bringing in these little perspective shifts to soften the stress response to situations, so people can look at situations differently and get more clarity, create more space and capacity to move through these troubles in their life. That's what I do. Okay, see, the words are this is great. So the words are starting to come through. I'm still trying to figure out how do I one of the reasons I struggle to sell myself, right? I did a video about this before, how uncomfortable I feel trying to sell myself, because I don't always know how to fully articulate it. So I just don't bother. And God just blesses me with work anyway. People, like I say, my phone would just ring. But I want to do more than just waiting for my phone to ring now. I want to help millions of people. That's why I'm doing this content thing. This is why I'm coming online now, because this is the only way I know that I can reach far, far beyond. And I can help people. I can help more people than just in my local area. That's why I'm moving to my work. I'm moving my work online. I can work with anyone, anywhere. And I'm showing you the journey. This is what it is. I'm coming on to show you the journey and show you the raw emotion about this is how I feel about my work. You know, I care so much, man. I genuinely just want to help as many people as I can. And that's why all the marketing stuff doesn't sit with me. Like, I don't want to talk people into working with me. I don't want to trick people into working with me. I don't want to, all these tactics, you know? And maybe I need to use some of those tactics to reach more people. I don't know. This is me just unpicking my mind. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for holding space for the emotion. Thanks for listening if you made it all the way through. Yeah, God bless. God bless.